All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I'd like to say I want to give all glory, all praises, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. I'd like to say double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Rubel. And as always, peace and salutations to the Hope elect and the societies pushing truth throughout the four corners of the earth. I'm the brother Yerah from the Great Millstone branch, the Gary Indiana camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. And I want to open up with this Psalms, the 120th chapter. This happened to be, the Bible verse, Bible verse of the day. I was reading, one of the verses, and then the Spirit jumped on me. I figured I just read the whole chapter, since it's a short chapter. And as you can see, the title of this chapter, it says it says prayer for deliverance from the treacherous, and that's the spirit we need to be in. Praying, to the Heavenly Father, ultimately to be delivered from this treacherous, wicked ass society. Because as you can see, I got this precept pulled up, Ecclesiastes 10:1. A wise judge would instruct his people, and the government of the prudent man is well ordered. And as you can look at the society, it shows that this place is not, well ordered, and it shows that the man, the people, the powers that be that's controlling this system, these people are not prudent, And real quick, let's look up that word for prudent. Let's see if they're gonna let me do it. Nah. Just lock it, bear with me. Careful or wise in handling practical matters, exercising good judgment or common sense. And you can see in this society, the powers that be, the people that rule this earth, don't have none of those characteristics. In fact, the scriptures say that these are vile, and this, the liberal man should no longer be called, the vile man should no longer be called liberal. Something to be, held upon in nobility. Esau is not that man. And in fact, the whole earth is waking up to the fact that these people are fucking disgusting. As you can see how they run into society, purposely destroying the earth. Got the minds of the people polluted. Everything is defiled, man, under this man's rule. It said, verse 2, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the rule of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And that's what you see in society. Society of treacherous weirdos, man. Everybody walking in practically in the image of the beast. That doest thy will spirit, no fear towards the Most High in any regards, outside the men of the Lord and the believers, and you may have few people that may be somewhat nice and sincere in this sense in this world, but even then they bugged out because they don't have the truth, ultimately, man. So we need to be delivered, man, at the end of the day, and that's what we're scrying and pleasing for, man. It said, verse 3, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited, man. And that's what you're seeing, an unwise king destroying his own people. His man has no regard for his soldiers. See, he's sending his troops over, through these proxy wars. Soldiers lose their lives. Families are devastated. Or soldier get injured and then come back and he has no benefits. He fucks over the workers. Even his own people, man. This man has no regard for nothing, man. Not even the beast. You know, like the scriptures say what, and I believe is in Proverbs. I'm gonna do it like this, make it easier. Let's go to Proverbs. Yep, Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beasts, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. You know, and this devil has no regard for the life of has no regard for the beasts, the animals, the creatures, creation itself. As you can see, the mass polluting, the systematic, burning of these different plants. First was the different train derailments. Then you have vehicles flipping over, releasing all kinds of toxic chemicals into the air, man. But yet you know, nobody's concerned. This is not being talked about in mainstream media. This being swept underneath the rug, man. But meanwhile, he's finna grade to put a smear campaign and to label us, those who teach the truth as the worst thing that's going. Those who speak against his agenda, they're finna be labeled and deemed as terrorists, to be justified in what in the different beheadings and being put and locked away in these different camps, man. You know, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so I want to open up with this. Is Psalms 120:1. In my distress I cried unto the Lord, and He heard me. Deliver my soul from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. And that's what we should be crying for, man. As we living in what here in Babylon the Great, the land also known as what? The land of the Chaldeans. Well, it's all matters of witchcraft, that's being played on the minds of the people. Salakia. Salakia, got to pause the video. Back in Psalms 120:3, and it reads, what shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? And like I was saying, hey, we living in the land of the Chaldeans, Babylon the Great. As the scriptures say, what, real quick here in Isaiah 47, come down and sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt nobly be called tender and delicate. And this speaking of Babylon the Great, America. Because Esau, according to the scriptures, real quick, let's get Psalms 137, is likened onto the daughter of Babylon, as he runs this current, here Babylon the Great. Psalms 137:7, and it reads, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even in the foundation thereof. Because during the time of the Babylonians, when they came and laid siege, on Jerusalem, and then took southern kingdoms into captivity, it was the Edomites that helped aid them in capturing Israelites, as well as pretty much, destroying the temple. Just like they did, during the time, during the Romans, man. They ransacked the temple even in those times, man. And that's what they finna grade to try to do on right now, man. In the sense of what? Trying to what? Either destroy the tabernacle of David. By what? Implementing that charagma, man. Or those who refuse to take it, to kill them off. Hey, but the Lord's going to reserve the elect, although some going to be martyrs. But hey, the Lord, He's going to deliver those, deliver the elect in these times, man. It said, verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee. hast thou served us. And as we see, the Lord is liking Esau, Edom, onto the what? The daughter of Babylon. So when you read Isaiah, the 47th chapter, just let you know that's not speaking of, you know, Babylon, ancient Babylon, during the time of Nebuchadnezzar, you know, the Neo-Babylonian Empire. This is speaking of what? Babylon the Great. This says, verse 2, take the millstone and gird the mills, uncover thy locks and make bare the legs, uncover the thighs, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. And the Lord's ready is ready to take vengeance on this place. And the Lord's already preparing this place for massive judgment, man. And he's using the sword, he's using the left hand to bring forth that judgment. It was ultimately going to lead to what? The Yahweh Shah coming back and ultimately destroying this place with the missiles and the chariots that's coming in and the fire that's coming down from the chariots. And in the process of that, delivering the elect. And the Lord willing, we be of that number. It says, verse 5, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms, man. And that's what you're seeing, man. That the wisdom of this place is being dismantled. All of this man's lies, witchcraft, sorcery is no longer working no more as the people are start to wake up out of this trance. Because what did the Lord call, call this devil, man? I believe it's in Isaiah, real quick. The face of the covering cast. Let's get that real quick. Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all the people and the veil that spread over all the nations. And that's what's happening. That process is happening right now, man. As the man of sin is being revealed, all his lies, his pseudoscience, all this, for years he prided himself in what? Operating in darkness and secrecy, but now everything is being brought to light. And through this truth, this testimony in which the prophets are speaking, and I'm right along with the Lord reaffirming what we're saying is the truth via what? Making the tongue, his own tongue, fall upon him, man. Like the scriptures say real quick here in Psalms 64. And 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And nobody's trusting this devil no more, man, as he's being found out. Like you don't even hear from that guy falsified no more. The man that was pushing the needles, man. He's being found out, man. Everybody realizes the devil gates of hell will not prevail. Buying up all the farmland. People are waking up. Especially the regular everyday Edomites waking up. Because he's realizing his kingdom is over with. But a large amount of you Jakes are still asleep. Jake's still worried about chasing the bag, not knowing this system is finna collapse and this devil's finna come down with great wrath. Jake ain't prepared, man. Even Jakes that know that they're Israelites, they not prepared for what's to come. Their mind is geared on folly and madness. But anyway, let's jump back to that Psalms 120 and 4 arrows. Let me read 3 again. Psalms 120 and 3. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper, man. Destruction is coming upon these devils, man. Like the Lord said, what in Job? We always bring out Job 20 and 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphant of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, man. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. As you can see real quick, the Biden administration is preparing to sign the U.S. to legally bind an accord with the not going to even say them dude's name, but you see who they are. That would get a lawful authority to dictate, you know, America's policy doing, you know, uh, that word right there, man. So we seeing what's being prepared, man. As we've been warning, starting with the apostles, prepare for another shutdowns, prepare for EMPs, where they gonna, blackouts, and these the same plagues in which the Lord brought upon ancient Egypt, man. And it's mighty we coming into the time of the Passover. Real quick. I know I'm all over the place, babe. I'm just flowing through the spirit. I believe it's the second Esdras. I'm gonna jump back to that's Job, but second Esdras 15 and 11. I will bring them with their mighty hand, and they stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And this lets you know this is not speaking of the actual land of Egypt, because when did the Lord smite Egypt like he did before? And when did the nation of Israel went into captivity as a collective nation into the land of Egypt again? This is speaking of the spiritual Egypt, America, Babylon the Great. Like we always say, that's why when you look on the back of your dollar bill, what they got, the pyramid, that's why you got the Washington, D.C., what they got, the, I forget that word, that start with an O, the obsolete, if I'm saying that correctly. That's why you got Memphis. And what's in Memphis, Tennessee? Like Memphis, Egypt, they got the pyramids, man. So this place is likened onto spiritual Egypt. It's also likened onto what? Spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, man. That's why the Lord called this place what? The mother of harlots. It's a conglomerate of all the past wicked empires, man, in one. Summed up in one. That's why the Lord called this place what? Babylon the Great. A land of great confusion, man. And this great confusion, man. You got goddamn robots in disguise walking around, if you know what I mean. Those who's under the rainbow flag, if you know what I'm saying. There's all this, just do as thou wilt, spirit, man. And there's no fear of the Heavenly Father in this land, just like there was no fear of the Lord in those ancient lands, man. And what happened to those ancient empires? They eventually fell. And what's different than this place? So 2 Esdras 15 and 11, but I will bring them with their mighty hand, and they stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it, man. So Egypt is going to be smitten, man. And we're seeing a foundation being destroyed, man. And you look at the the literal foundation via the what? The what's the word I'm looking for? Like the highway system, the infrastructure. Yep. America's infrastructure is one of the worst in the world now, man. Remember in the 60s and the 50s, America highway system, that was like the pride of America, man. They was one of the first countries to have, a highway system like that. Man, look at it now, man. This place is destroyed, man. Yeah, it's the Lord that's bringing these plagues upon this place, and it's finna get a lot worse. As the Lord hardens Pharaoh's heart, just like he did, in ancient Egypt, he's hardened Pharaoh's heart in these times. And who's the modern day Pharaoh? Esau, starting with particularly the Amalekites, the small hats. as he hijacked the blessing from the rest of the tribes of Esau. He's the one that's in control of all this. And we don't give a damn about none of these Edomites. But we just pointing out the facts, man. You know? It says, verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with plague, and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it, man. And that's what the Lord finna bring upon it. Destruction. Just like in the times past, the Lord plagued what Egypt with darkness. Hey, that's coming to this place as well. Because when you look in America, America prides itself on its lights. You know, when you go like to a place like New York City or Chicago, you got the bright lights, or Vegas or Atlantic City, you got these bright lights. You know, these people used to having lights everywhere. You got some, outside those who live in the country and in the wild where, where there's nobody out there. But, these people that's live in these cities, man, they're going to be in for a rude awakening, man, when these blackouts come, man, roll around. And it's going to create a chaotic environment, man. It says, verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fell through the blasting and the hail, and with fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and destruction draw nigh, and one people shall fight against another, and swords in their hand. I mean, that's going to be what? That great insurrection amongst men, man. People ain't going to have no regards for one another, man. Because it's going to be what? The lack of bread. As you go down, as you continue to read on down. But anyway, I want to finish up this Psalms 120. It said, verse 5, woe is me that I sojourn in Mesech, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar, And then, these was, far off places, man. And that's what we are. We suffer. We in a foreign land, man, amongst heathen. And I want to look up that word for Kedar, because I looked it up earlier. It means dark. To mourn, to darken, cause to mourn, and now we're not mourning. Sackcloth, heavily mourn, and we're in a foreign land mourning, man, seeking to to return back onto the promised land that the Lord promised unto our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. That's what we're looking to be delivered from these chains of darkness, this flesh, ultimately, first and foremost, and ultimately from this damn bitter captivity. It says, verse 6, my soul has long dwelled with him that hateth peace. And Esau, man, he hates peace. As the scriptures say, Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword, man. And power was given unto this devil to take what? Peace from the earth, man. And there's no peace in this earth, man, until Yahweh shall return and take this devil out, man. And tough times are coming, man. Famine. As you can see, this devil is systematically destroying, food processors facilities all over the world. It says, verse 7, back in Psalms 120 and 7, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war, man. And that's what these devils are. They are for war. Like the scriptures say. Isaiah 59:15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil, making himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. And that's what you see in this society. The minute you stand for righteousness, you're the problem. You're the issue. You know? Because what did it say real quick? I believe it's in Wisdom of Solomon. Two and 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. Because why? We were, saying, hey, the prophets out there, everything we speak is contrary to this devil system, man. It speaks against this system. As this system that he set up is pretty much a whole anti-Messiah system, man. Anti-Hamashiach, world, man. That doest thy will spirit. This world has no parts with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. And the minute you speak of righteousness, you be demonized in this world, man. You're frowned upon. But meanwhile, children are being targeted, for sex. Adultery is promoted. Whoredom is promoted. All kinds of madness is promoted, man. Drug abuse. Even suicide. You got songs that uplift suicide, man. But the minute you stand for life and righteousness, hey, you the issue, you the problem. It's showing that we live in a fucked up world, man. Simple as that. And excuse my French, but it is what it is. It says, verse 13, he professes to have the knowledge of the Most High. He called himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are another of a fashion, man. And just like they grieve us, we grieve them. We are to esteem him as counterfeits. He abstained from us, from our ways, as from filthiness. He pronounced the end of the just to be blessed. He maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. And that's what we're doing through spirit, man. Because there's the ways this man is filthy. Like I just named the things that this devil is promoting, is allowing to be forwarded in society, man. And the minute you say something again, you demonize, you ostracize. And nowadays he's working on laws, those unrighteous decrees, to get rid of those, be justified through his unrighteous decrees to get rid of those who speak out against any agenda he promotes. Verse 17, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help them and deliver him from the hands of his enemy. And that's what this devil's finna ready to do. He's finna come down with great wrath. Respect the persecution, man. Persecution is coming. As this devil is running out of all options, as he sees his time is ending, he's finna go all out. Because ultimately he wants to steal back that birthright, but he's not going to be able to do it. It said, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with shameful death, for by his own sayings he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. As for the mystery of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern the reward for the blameless souls, man. So they don't understand, man. That judgment is coming, man. And this time you're not going to be able. This time, times past, people was able to get the prophets, kill the prophets, attack them. This time enough is enough. The Lord is finna intervene, and he's finna do a mighty act. Because what did the Lord say real quick? I'm going to close out on this. The Lord finna deliver that remnant. It's in Isaiah. Just bear with me. Do it like this. Isaiah 26:20. Come, my people, enter down to my chamber. And then speaking to the elect. No, shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as before a little moment until the indignation be overpast. For behold, the Lord come out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. And the earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain, man. So destruction is finna come to these devils, man. You know, ultimately, man. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I pray this video is edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. I want to say, call, hello, Yahweh, Bashir Rashad, Bashir Kakadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, we well. And as always, peace and salutations to those elect and the disciples, which is truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom and above all.